Exodus chapter 24, verse 9. Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up. And they saw the God of Israel. There was under his feet, as it were, a pavement of sapphire stone, like the very heaven for clearness. So, as God told him in the beginning of the chapter, what they need to do, so they did. Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 elders, they went up. Okay, and there they saw the God of Israel. What did they see? Did they see a path with trees and forest and grass and dead leaves? Is that what they saw? Did they see a man with a face and a long hair and a beard and blue eyes and, the hippie Jesus? Did they see that? No, understandably, that's not what they saw, because you can't see God and live. Right? You can see the God man and live, but not God. Okay? And what they did see was this pavement of sapphire stone. So here is a track in the park, right? It's not like the main, but I guess you can walk here because, seemingly it's kind of clearly a footpath, right? A footpath there in the forest, just off the main where I recorded a bit earlier. So did they see this footpath, from soil? Because this is what you would expect ultimately here in a park like this. You're not going to expect a pavement, right, with gold or anything, or even with bricks. You're not going to expect here, because it's supposed to be wild, like how it is originally. Okay, so what they saw is this pavement of sapphire stone. It's so feet. Okay, but now what exactly? Because yes, the idea is a pavement. Now, if you just saw a pavement, and then so they saw feet, but nothing more than just feet, because ideas is feet on a pavement. Okay, otherwise, like the pavement just on its own, like my feet on this pavement, on this path here, footpath here. Okay, so this is ultimately what they then see. And this pavement is of sapphire stone, not dirt. It's of sapphire stone, right? Not something that they would have expected. Ultimately, again, not up in the mountain, right? And it was very clear. These heaven, like the heaven for clearness. Verse 11, and he did not lay his hand on the chief men of the people of Israel. They beheld God and ate and drank. So laying of the hand does not show that they saw a hand as well. Now in this case, it's just he didn't do anything to them. He didn't kill them, right? He didn't destroy them, although all of us humans deserve it of this death and destruction because of the fact that we stand up against God every single day in sin. No, God didn't destroy them. God allowed for the chief men of Israel to then ultimately eat and drank with him, because this is now after the signing of the covenant. This is as well part of that. We signed the covenant, like when we've seen the covenants that Isaac and made with the Philistine king Abimelech, and Abram did as well, and they had a feast after that. So the same thing that happens in this case as well. Not the killing of these people. God allowed for the leaders, representatives of the people. There's a word I couldn't remember in the previous video. And to eat and drank with them. Lo and behold, they drank not just tea and coffee there. Okay? For those Baptists drinking alcohol. Anyhow, verse 12, the Lord said to Moses, come up to me on the mountain and wait there, that I may give you the tablets of stone with the law and the commandment which I have written for their instruction. So after all the sign, the feast is over and done with, God told Moses that he needs to come up now and so that he can give him write the Decalogue down on tablets of stone, right? Something that is then, this is the way they would do it in the culture of the day as well. The kings would write the very important victories, they would write down on pillars of stone so that everybody can see it, because it lasts long, okay? And it's not like if I scratch out my name now in the street, which I won't do, and I think people doing is kind of pretty lame and stupid. But the tree will grow and the name will disappear. Right now, with tablets of stone, ultimately this is not going to happen. If you take care of it, like we can see there's Rosetta Stone there in the museum there in Great Britain. Okay, thousands of years ago written, and it's still there. So this idea is it needs to be written down on stone, so that people, it's not going to be just on paper, it burns and it's gone. Okay, it's important. And these are ultimately the things that God has given for their instruction. Verse 13, so Moses rose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up into the mountain of God. So Moses got up, he took Joshua with. Now the interesting thing is, we don't read of Joshua as part of the group that God said, except if it was one of the elders. But seemingly Joshua was still a very young man at that stage. Okay, because the spy is going to send up. So he most likely, except again, if they don't, under the word elder, they don't mean age elder, but just leaders of. Now, yeah, maybe with his connections to Moses, he could have, depending on. But in some other way, Joshua was there, because now Moses is going to take Joshua to go with him, right? And up to the mountain. Verse 14, and he said to the elders, wait here for us until we return to you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. Whoever has a dispute, let him go to them. So, actually, then what is happening in these verses is, so the people, the 70 elders, and this actually explains everything a lot clearer, because if you think of them as, so they were eating and drinking, the people were left below there after the signing of the covenant. Now the 70 elders, Moses and this other three, the three plus Moses, 4, they go up the mountain, and there were they in the presence of God, ate and drank. And then what's happening here is, from there Moses then gets up and he goes up further. Then yes, that means that Joshua is either an elder, which age-wise might not put him in that, leadership-wise maybe, age-wise not. And even later on we don't see him as, so that doesn't really make sense. So what happened here, where time elapsed, they went down again after having this feast, where God then told Moses to come up again to him. And then there Joshua was, understandably, he took Joshua from there. And then he told the people that yes, he's going to go away for a while, but they don't need to, because Aaron and Hur is still with him. Remember Aaron and Hur, the two who kept up Moses' arms there when they were fighting the battle. So they had Hur as well by then, this reputation of one next to Moses. And with him telling that ultimately this makes sense, or it explains why I'm saying that they had to go down, because Hur as well, we don't know, he might have been one of the elders, right, for that matter. But he's saying that they are with you, right? So the people stayed below. So if they were still there and then from there they went further up, then they can't say, okay, but you guys have them with you down there in the, so yes, sure, it makes sense. They went down. God told him that he will need to come up to him, because he's going to write these laws in stone. And he took Joshua, he left Aaron and Hur with the people, said, don't worry, Aaron and Hur is here, they will take care of you. If you have any disputes, court cases, and quite a number of laws concerning court cases already. One of the words in Decalogue, not bearing false witness. And they are there with you, and they will solve these disputes for you ultimately.